Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A macro analysis of the Ukraine front. Major developments from reported by the Russians, reported by the Ukrainians. The Russians destroy several Ukrainian defense positions in Chasiv Yar and Toretsk. That's one of them. Then the Russians advance in Toretsk and Kurakhove in Donetsk People Republic. I will show you maps where they are. I will show you the connection between Mr. Kagan and the Institute for the Study of War, his report saying that Ukraine will lose the war within the next 12 to 18 months. This guy, I'm going to show you who Mr. Robert Kagan is. Kaganovich, sounds familiar? Then we find out that the Russians outnumber the Ukrainians 5-1 in Pokrovsk front by Kurakhove. The Russians attacked again with drones Ukraine. I will show you the extent. The Ukrainians attacked with a long strike in Engels, in Saratov region. They claimed they destroyed one oil depot and the airfield where the Russian strategic bombers are located. I'm going to show you maps and what these guys claim. And I will provide you the Russian version of the attack. The Russians claim that they shot down dozens of Ukrainian drones. All right, so these are the main articles for today. Let's start with the first one. This comes from the Ukrainska Pravda. Russians destroy several Ukraine defense positions in Chasiv Yar and Toretsk. Now, this coming from the Ukrainians is a big deal. Obviously, don't say that. This is Toretsk right here. I'm going to show you. And Chasiv Yar is right north of Toretsk. Remember, this is Artemovsk, Bakhmut, where the Wagner group won. Here in Soledar, these are Wagner group's achievements, mostly. So Chasiv Yar, and here is Toretsk. This is Pokrovsk. Remains Pokrovsk is going to be encircled. So this is in the Donetsk Oblast, and in the Ukraine is in the southeast, or let's say east. This is where the Russians are advancing, according to the Ukrainians, in Toretsk and Chasiv Yar. Next one, the New Voice of Ukraine. Russian forces advance in Toretsk and Kurakhove in Donetsk Oblast and in Kursk Oblast. Again, this is from the New Voice of Ukraine. So Toretsk, Kurakhove, and Kursk Oblast. Toretsk here, Kurakhove is right here. It's already conquered. This is Kurakhove by this how do you call it? Accumulation, water accumulation. How do you call this? I just missed I can't find the word. Dam is a dam right here. God damn, I can't remember the word. Pokrovsk is right here. So they're talking about the reservoir, the water reservoir, the French. Right. So this is Kurakhove here, Toretsk is here, Chasiv Yar is here. So the Russians are advancing here, and they said the other one was in Kursk, which is right here, where the NATO had their little advance into the Russian territory. Successful, but small. Nevertheless, they did it. So the Russians push here, and they push in this area here, but in Donetsk. This is Toretsk. Let's get close. Yes, this is Toretsk, where the hostilities occur. Supposedly they are fighting inside the city, but they advance according to these guys. Whereas Toretsk, Bakhmut is right here, and Chasiv Yar is right here, north of it. So exactly as I showed you, Toretsk. It seems like it's called differently. Dresnitsk right here, because Chasiv Yar is right here, Bakhmut is here. Okay, next. Sputnik. West misjudged Russian economy's robustness. Ukraine may soon fall. US Uber hawk laments. Uber hawk laments. Now, who's this guy? I'm going to show you who this guy is. All right. So, in another sign of Russian forces prevailing over Ukrainian ones, the strategic city of Kurakhove came under Russia's control earlier this week. Ukraine will likely lose in the conflict with Russia within the next 12 to 18 months if there is not a massive new US aid in near future, alarms hawkish American neocon analyst Robert Kagan. He is a neocon, but he's also Jewish. Just a coincidence. I'm going to start with this. Boom. Institute for the Study of War that you might hear about. Here you have Kimberly Kagan. She is the president right here. See? Now Kimberly Kagan, I will have to tell you all this. This is fact. Kimberly Kagan is married to whom exactly? Kimberly Kagan, a Jewish accountant. Okay, she's Jewish, and her husband Friedrich Kagan. And Friedrich Kagan is right here. His brother is Robert Kagan. And Robert Kagan, that we're talking about, is the husband of Victoria Nuland Kagan. You got it? So, Victoria Nuland is married to Robert Kaganovich. Robert Kaganovich is the brother of Wilhelm, or whatever his name. I have to learn this. Because it seems like I'm going to need it in the future. So this is the brother of Friedrich Kagan. Friedrich the Great. Great names. All right. And Friedrich is the husband of Kimberly Kagan, which is in charge of the Institute for the Study of War. All of them are part of one particular group. Yes, as neocons. So when you hear Kagan, think about Kaganovich. Who's that? You look. Now this guy says, Kaganovich, the expert, right, said, let me show you. He said, if there is not a massive new US aid, okay, Ukrinform claims, enemy outnumbered at least 5-1 in Pokrovsk and Kurakhove sectors. It's something that many people said, including moi. The Ukrainians or NATO will not have anyone else to fight for their interests. Therefore, they will probably activate the Poles with the Bulls, the Weasels in Romania, maybe the Baltic states. That's about it. So you can give weapons to dead people, they can't operate them. Okay? So Kagan talks shit. He needs not aid. Ukraine doesn't need aid. Ukraine needs people with aid. So again, this is an expert, according to the Ukrainians. On the Pokrovsk and Kurakhove, these directions, the Russian military outnumber Ukrainian soldiers at least 5-1. Why? Because these guys don't have any resources anymore. There are 150,000 Russian troops in the Pokrovsk direction, 50,000 in the Kursk direction. The enemy outnumbers us at least 5-1 in the Pokrovsk and Kurakhove directions. And it's not about combat capability. They have an a priori advantage in forces and means. Even if the military command moved units from Kursk region to Pokrovsk, it would not change the situation on this section of the front much, the military expert believes. Alright, so this is Grabsky. Because this is higher mathematics to calculate which tasks are performed by which forces and means and where. Guys, they are talking about mobilization. That's what I'm talking about. And they're talking about this area in Pokrovsk right here, and in Kurakhove right here. The Russians are 5-1. And they say we can't take anybody from Kursk to bring them over there because it's more than that. We need mobilizing people, probably 18 and 25, which they didn't do it yet. Next one, Ukrinform. Ukrainian forces down 41 Russian drones, 22 lost from radar. This is the evidence right here for you. Count them. All right? Including Shahed drones and others, these were lost. And they were launched from Oryol, Kursk, Bryansk, and Primorsko-Akhtarsk. These are so the Russians launched it from Bryansk, Oryol, Kursk, this area, and Primorsko-Akhtarsk, which is down here, across from the Sea of Azov, right here, Primorsko-Akhtarsk. All right, let's see what they hit. They attacked what? Right, Poltava, Sumy, Kharkiv, Cherkasy, Chernihiv, Zhytomyr, Dnipropetrovsk, Mykolaiv, and Kirovohrad. All these are located no further than here. So this area in here, the Fertile Crescent. Okay, next. Is this the one or the next one? This is the one. Ukraine form. General Staff confirms strike on oil depot in Russia's Engels. The Ukrainian Defense Forces hit an oil storage facility, Kombinat Krystal. I will show you what Kombinat Krystal is. Located in Engels, Saratov region, Russia, in the early hours of Wednesday, January 8th. Elvis Presley's date of birth. Happy birthday. This was confirmed. It says, according to General Staff, numerous explosions were recorded near the target, and a large-scale fire broke out. Local authorities confirmed that the strike hit an industrial facility. All right, the strike was carried out by units of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. And here is a beep, 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 boop, boop, boop. I'm not going to play because YouTube doesn't like it. So it was emphasized that this particular oil depot supplied fuel to the Engels 2 military airfield, home of the enemy's strategic aviation. So there's not a civilian target, this is a military target, that's the whole point. Destroying the oil depot creates significant logistical problems for the Russian occupiers' strategic aviation and greatly reduces their ability to strike peaceful Ukrainian cities and civilian infrastructure. Like we are fucking idiots. As reported by Ukrinform, media outlets spread news that following a drone attack early on January 8, an oil storage facility at the Engels airbase in Russia was ablaze. I don't think so. I will show you the map. Russian oil depot and airbase in Engels targeted by Ukrainian drones strikes. It's successful, but hey, fuel depot at Russia's Engels Airfields ablaze following drone attack. So they say that the oil fields were at Russia's Engels airfield. Well, let's look over the map. This is Engels. Now, I figured out what Mr. Krystal Kombinat is. It's right here, Mr. Krystal Kombinat. You see that Krystal Kombinat here? This is the industrial zone area of Engels. Here is the airfield. This is the airfield, okay, with the bombers ready to take off, it seems like, and so on. So these are the bombers they are talking about. You see, right there. But then if you look at the Kombinat, I will show you, is right here. Krystal Kombinat, right? So this is what they struck, they say. That this is by the airfield. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Right here. This is the airfield. This is the Kombinat. This is the industrial area of Engels. Now where Engels is? Far away, far away. This is Volga River, Volgograd, right? Stalingrad. And we're going to go right here. This is Ukraine. Used to be, whatever it is. So from here to here. It's a long way, right? Here to Ukraine. Moskva is right here. Moscow Mule, right? All right. This is the distance. This is Volga River. Pum, pum, pum. So, a good successful strike. Let's see what the Russians say about this strike. Russia Today. Russia shoots down dozens of Ukrainian drones, Ministry of Defense. Incoming UAVs targeted 7 regions, the Defense Ministry has said. Air defenses destroyed 32 Ukrainian drones over Russian territory overnight. Saratov region, the one I showed you, appeared to be the prime target with 11 UAVs shot down, the ministry statement said. 4 drones were destroyed in the Kursk and Rostov regions, 3 in the Belgorod and Bryansk region, 2 in Krasnodar region, 1 in Volgograd region, and 4 more over the Sea of Azov. Saratov region governor Roman Buzargin wrote on Telegram that the cities of Saratov and Engels, so these are right here because Saratov and Engels are neighbors. Here, Saratov is on the right bank of the Volga River, Engels on the left bank of the Volga River. They were both attacked, but this is the guy talking about. And remember, here is the Krystal, here is the airfield. All right, let's go back to where we belong. Saratov region said the cities of Engels and Saratov came under a large-scale UAV attack overnight. He thanked the military for ensuring security of the region. A fire broke out at an industrial facility as a result of a drone strike, but no one was injured. You see, the Russians are saying, more than the other guys. In a later post, Buzargin said he had visited the site of the ablaze and gave assurances that there were enough forces and means to localize the fire. All right, so this is what they claim they did to this attack in Saratov and Engels. Was successful? I think so, for the Ukrainians. And here it is, a little update of a macro update of what's going on in Ukraine. Nothing in how do you call it? In Zaporozhye. Nothing in Kherson. All right, I guess that's peace and quiet. I didn't hear anything about Kharkov, not Kharkov. I'm not going to say it. I'm saying Kharkiv, as the Ukrainians say, and Kharkov, as the Russians say it. It's exactly the pronunciation. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you later, friend. See you later.